Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Diamonds in the Rough podcast. I'm joined by Mike,
How
who
we doing?
everyone loved him in the Seattle podcast.
Oh,
I got some
good.
good reviews on that. They liked your energy, and he's going to bring the energy today because he's very mad at me right now.
I,
Because
I I opened the podcast out and find out that you ranked the Clippers that low. Continue though.
I ranked him seven. Um, and the reason I ranked him seven was because of injury concern. And I just think the West is a very stacked division. And I don't even think seven's like an insult because I think the seven seed to like the two seed could be like a 5 game difference. Like I just think it's going to be very tight. So I'm me saying it's a bad team. I also did reiterate to you that I was like, in a playoff series, I'm probably taking the Clippers over, if not every team, most of the teams. Like if I was to decide now, I think Warriors are the only team I'd probably take over them in a series.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, but I can understand because your Clippers are like your second team. You're a Celtics fan, but Clippers are your team on the West. You're a Kawhi boy. You know,
This
you
is
have
true.
told me you think he's the player of our generation, which is just blasphemous. But um, so I can understand you going, look at our freaking team. How are you gonna put him seven? But I guess a good place to start is which of the teams I ranked above are you like very mad about? Because I
Okay.
can if it's like a few teams, like you'd be fine. If I put them three, you'd be like okay,
Yeah.
but
Let me pull up your
seven,
list. Let me
yeah,
pull up your list. But it's Minnesota. Okay. Minnesota
Minnesota.
has no. First of all, second place. I'm sorry. What are we doing here, John?
It's
But
bold.
anyways,
It's bold. It
I
is
like the
bold.
boldness, but the problem is the boldness comes at the extent of my team. Come on now.
So I did say I said this is the pick that's either gonna make me look like a genius or an absolute dumbass.
Let me
Right? This is
screenshot
the
this.
pick. So Timberwolves at two. They were the 7 seed last year. They surprised everyone, had a very good record. I still
Mm-hmm.
don't think the Gobert trade is a good trade. Let me just say that.
Awful.
I don't think it's a good trade. However, it does make them better, and I'm not going to listen to anyone saying it doesn't make them better right now. It does.
I like Minnesota. I don't like them in top six at all. I mean, Rudy
Really?
Gobert makes them better, but
So
I
they
mean,
were seven last year. They get Rudy Gobert. You think they're going to be
six.
seven again?
I think they'll be six
The one you sent me,
because
the Suns were six.
The Nuggets and the Clippers are going to be ferocious this year. Okay, they're both 100% healthy, right?
Yep.
Then you got the Warriors, obviously, and then everyone is sleeping on the Dallas Mavericks. They're not that bad. I'm telling you right now, they're not that
How did they
bad.
get better last year than last year? How did they
I'm
get
not
better?
saying they got better, but this is a team that was 2 games away from, or I think they were 3 games away from the finals. They were in the Western Conference Finals. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm aware, and they,
Um,
they got worse in my opinion.
the Grizzlies, the Grizzlies are good,
The Grizzlies I put at five
right?
because of the Jaren Jackson Jr. injury.
Okay,
He's going to
I
be out
get
for like
that.
2 months, and I just think the race is going to be so close that the 3 or 4 games they would have won with him will be impactful.
Okay,
But
but
back to the Timberwolves.
yeah,
I do believe in Anthony Edwards, maybe a little too much. Okay, I believe in him so much that I think a lot of people don't. Um, Something I wish I took into more account is Carl Anthony Towns' sickness, how he lost like 20 pounds like right before the season. So he's going to be off to a slow start, I can imagine. But as far as the depth issues, I don't think there's any depth issues with them. I understand they traded Vanderbilt and Powell and Pat Bev, three key rotation guys. They got Kyle Anderson back. I think Jalen Noel is a very solid player who just needed to get more minutes anyway. So I think he'll fit in nice for them. Bryn Forbes is also a solid player. I didn't think the depth was a big issue. Plus, they have four legit guys that are going to be playing 30 to 36 minutes a game. How much do you really need of bench guys? Also, Torian Prince is another very good player that needs more time. So Nas Reed is there as well. They drafted Wendell Moore, and although he's a rookie, he's an upperclassman at Duke. So he's pro ready to give you something. So the depth issues weren't a concern for me, and I think Gobert's going to make that defense actually serviceable. And another thing I thought of is like D'Angelo Russell was at his best with the Nets, where he was the star and he had a bunch of like role guys around him. He's going to be fantastic if he stays on with like a bench unit. Like there's just so many things I think this team can do with those four guys.
Who's their coach? Oh, okay, I know the coach. He's British, right? Or no,
I
he
think he's
played
British.
for England. Never mind. He was like in England for a period of time. Never mind. Anyways, okay, I
Finch.
get the points, but Minnesota still has the inexperience, okay? And New Orleans,
Well,
those two teams,
hang on with the inexperience. They challenged the Grizzlies in the playoffs pretty well. They didn't look like the moment was too
yeah,
big for
no,
them.
I agree. But are they better than the LA Clippers? And even if the health thing comes into play, right? Okay,
Well, I'm
so
accounting
Kawhi,
for that. You need to realize when I make the pick,
you're
I'm
counting on
saying
Kawhi
like
Leonard playing less than 50 games,
Kawhi and
correct?
Paul George are missing. Kawhi's missing like 20 games, and Paul George's missing like 15.
Okay, that's not bad. So
Okay.
Kawhi will probably play 50 to 60 games. Paul
Yep.
George, I think Paul George will play like 70 unless it's a serious injury. So and then they have they're the deepest roster in the league. Okay. Their bench is gross. They
Yeah,
have
it is.
Robert Covington, Norman Powell, Luke Kennard as their JJ Redick, Amir Coffey. Like he's decent. You know what I mean? He's
Marcus
young.
Morris.
Marcus Morris, who, you know, as a Celtic fan, you kind of like want to scream when
Does
you watch
Terrence
him.
Mann start?
I don't think I haven't watched the whole preseason, but last year he wasn't starting, so I don't know.
You also
I
have
don't
Reggie
think he does.
Jackson now.
Reggie Jackson won the job over John Wall.
Batum.
By the way, they have John Wall.
Okay, okay, we need to stop with this John Wall thing.
$5 million a year, John. You would have done it too.
No, I'm not saying it was a bad deal. I'm just saying John Wall goes to the Clippers and everyone's like, oh, a new big three. It's like, okay,
No,
he hasn't played in 2 years.
no.
I think he's going to be helpful for them. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got better in those 2 years. He seems like that kind of guy with a work ethic. It's just, I'm not ready to say John Wall's a 20 and 10 guy like he was at Washington.
But I just named like 8 or 9 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
The T-Wolves do not have 8 or 9 guys where you're like, whoa, they have a lot of depth. Like even if say like Kawhi's again, they're gonna have him on minutes restrictions and stuff like that.
They were talking about him being on the bench.
That too, which whatever, you know what I mean. I still am confident this team is going to be a top 3 team in 2020.
In the power rankings,
2021, in 2021, Kawhi Leonard they did his normal routine where he played I think about 60 games around there, and Paul George they were pretty healthy and they had again a lot of depth. They didn't even have the depth that they have now, right? So they didn't have Norman Powell, they didn't have Robert Covington, and they got the 3rd seed. And I thought that was bad. I was disappointed in them.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they are the 2nd best team right now in the West. I'm still going to put the Warriors as 1. I have to see them beat the Warriors.
Respect it, yeah.
But other than that, the T-Wolves, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, they don't again, unless Kawhi's out the whole year, which he's not, you know what I mean? Unless Paul George is out the whole year, you know, the scenario you're saying, I still think they're top 3 with that depth. And I didn't even bring up Tyronn Lue, who you don't think is that good, but I'm telling you,
I think he's overrated. I think he's a good coach. I just think he's overrated. Where, yes, he took the Paul George led team to the Western Conference Finals, but like no one wants to talk about that he blew 2 leads to not make the playoffs last year.
I mean, Paul George was out
for one of the games.
And then the other game they were already in doomsday situation.
They were up 10 heading to the 4th and Towns was fouled out.
I mean, look, Kawhi was out the whole year.
You need to acknowledge he blew it. It's fine.
I don't think
he did.
But I mean, Paul George didn't play the first game. So there's
a pass. He played the first game versus the Timberwolves.
Oh, sorry. He played the first game. Wasn't he out the second game with COVID, if I remember
Yes, he was out. He was out the second game.
That's what I'm saying.
He was out the second game. They still
game. I watched the first game live and I was pissed as well. I remember because Patrick Beverly, yes, I remember that.
They did blow the second game as well. They had a double-digit lead.
Correct. But I'm going to give them a pass. And that's me. You don't have to. I get it. Hold them accountable all you want. But I'm giving them the pass because, again, Paul George had an elbow injury the whole year. So even when he played in that first game, he was playing with an elbow injury. Okay? So I'm just saying. And Norman Powell, go ahead.
They could get a pass. Like, I'm not saying it in the sense of, like, Ty Lue's a bad coach. The Clippers have no chance because of last year. Last year's whatever. Even if they made the playoffs, they weren't winning. Who really cared, right? I'm just saying, like, Ty Lue has flaws. He's not like I've heard he's the Bill Belichick of the NBA, and it just aggravates me because he's not. He's a great coach. He's a top 5 coach, 100%. I think there's a confusion because you're seeing 7 in the West, and you're thinking that means I think they are the 7th best team in the West, which is not what I think. I just think the wins they're gonna have the 7th most wins in the West, and it could be by they're 2 games away from the 4 seed, right? It's just like I also think they're a team that doesn't give a crap about the seedings.
I think
Like,
they. I mean, but you said it. What did you say at the top of the show? You said, or in your podcast, you said how good the Western Conference is, right?
yes,
How it's like World War III out there, right?
yeah,
So the Clippers are going to take this seriously. Kawhi Leonard did not stay a whole year in San Diego not playing basketball to not take this season seriously. They're going to take the seeding seriously,
okay. I
especially
mean,
when they see 2021. Especially when you look at 2021, they were a top 3 seed, and what happened? They made the Western Conference Finals. What
mhm,
happened last year when they were a 7th seed? They got bounced in the play-ins.
yeah, I do think it's a completely different team. It's a much better team than last year. Um, I don't know. It's just an injury thing with me. Like if their way to preserve Kawhi is to like put him on the bench as well, like is that going to be better for them or worse for them? And what about the chemistry come playoff time? That just doesn't seem smart to me to put him on the bench because to me with this roster you're looking at title. You're not looking at let's see how high of a seeding we can get. That's what teams like that is Isaiah Thomas Celtics team were. They were can we get the 1 seed? They didn't care about the playoffs, but like they thought the 1 seed was their best chance to win it. These teams that are going for titles don't care about seeding. I look at teams like the Warriors, like the Bucks. They're cool with a 3 seed. They're cool with lower. They don't really care. They're just trying to win the championship. And if that means you got to preserve and you got to rest some guys, fine. The Bucks did that last year. They sat all their guys and sacrificed home court in game 7 to the Celtics. That's what they did. They ended up losing it, but that's what those teams kind of do. And I see the Clippers in a similar light where they go, who really cares if we're the 5 seed or the 4 seed if Kawhi's hurt? Who cares? Like Kawhi literally has a disease in his leg. He's like a ticking time bomb. They want to preserve him.
Okay, but you have them 7th, right?
Yes.
What
So
if the Warriors are the 2 seed? You think the Clippers are going to be okay with that? They're not going to be okay with that. They don't want to play the Warriors in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Like, okay, well, we're the Clippers. We don't need to worry about our seeding. You do if the Warriors are the 2nd seed. You do if the Nuggets are the 2nd seed. And then if you're out in the first round because of that, Kawhi Leonard, all that in the offseason is going to go down. There's going to be a bunch of fights and stuff like that.
yeah, 7 would definitely be tough. I'm not gonna disagree with that. Um, they're not gonna try to be the 7. I'm just saying like I don't think they're one of those teams that are like we need to get the 1 seed. That's more what I'm thinking. But I just think there's a bunch of good teams in the West. So I talked about the Timberwolves. You can disagree with it. I understand to disagree with it. It's definitely a bold prediction by me. I don't have a ton to go off for me to say the Timberwolves going to get that many wins. I just think Rudy Gobert in the regular season, emphasis on that, in the regular season is that much of an impact. These teams don't have weeks and weeks to prepare a game plan against Rudy Gobert like they do in the playoffs, right?
How is he in the playoffs, John?
He's I think he's better than people act, but
Oh, okay.
he's much easier to score on. Like there's game plan you can do. I also think he just got screwed in Utah and took all the defensive blame when there were literally 4 of the worst backcourt defenders in the NBA on his team. And he had to cover every single player. He did.
Well,
And he
Mike Conley's
made
the worst player in the world.
it was Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bogdan Bogdanovich, Jordan Clarkson at some points. None of them can cover anyone. And they're just like, Gobert, save us. But I think the Minnesota defense will actually be pretty good. But if you disagree, I completely understand on that one.
They're a playoff team.
For
I
sure.
think
For
they're. I
sure.
think the highest. I think Minnesota's ceiling is probably 6
I think
because. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think the top 8 we agree on. Like it's Nuggets,
Yeah.
Timberwolves, Grizzlies, Warriors, Suns, Clippers, Mavericks. You have Pelicans too.
Yes.
Not as high as I do probably, but
I had no, I had them in the bottom, like 7 or 8.
okay.
I had Lakers 10 because the Utah Jazz are better than them. But continue.
So let me. I'm just gonna go through my rankings. So Nuggets, you're fine with. You get it.
I'm fine with that. I think they're 3, but I
Yeah, I
respect
know
the
you have
opinion.
Clippers 1, and I get it. And there's definitely a bit of bias you can
I mean,
acknowledge. It's
the
just
Clippers are going to be top 3, is what I'm trying to say. You know what
yes.
I mean? It doesn't matter if put them 1, 2, or 3. I think they're going to be top 3.
So Nuggets, Warriors, you're cool with.
Yes.
Timberwolves, you disagree with. I have Pelicans 4.
Too high.
So I really loved what I saw from them last year. I think there's certain people I think who are saying it's like a fluke, and it's just not. Brandon Ingram was out most of the first half of the season, and the Pelicans were looking at a number 1 pick. I don't have the record offhand, but when Brandon Ingram was playing, I want to say they're like 33-18. Like they were like a top team with him. And he played a lot of those games without McCollum and Larry Nance from that trade. Then they got McCollum and Nance, and now the rookies were starting to go, and it was a formidable team that almost people thought they had a chance to beat the Suns, the 1-8 matchup.
They were close.
They were close. It was scary. It took a heroic performance by Chris Paul to end them, honestly. So I saw that team last year and I said, there's like one thing they need, but it's kind of tough to get. It's like this like superstar athletic big kind of guy. Like they kind of need that to really make them a complete team. Well, now they have that in Zion Williamson.
Correct.
I thought that was like the missing piece, and you're just going to get another year of those 3 rookies who have already crafted a role. So they're just going to be more skilled and just stick to their role. Herb Jones is like a top 5 defender in my mind. You can put him on anyone, and he's going to do as good a job as any player in the NBA. Trey Murphy's a knockdown shooter. Alvarado's just frustrating to play against. They drafted my favorite prospect in Dyson Daniels in the draft, who was NBA ready. He's like the youngest guy in the NBA, but he did the G League Ignite thing. So he's had professional experience.
I hate that. But continue.
They're going to bring him on real slow. And then by the end, he's going to be like one of those rookies last year and provide useful minutes. I just love this team so much. And I almost wish I like swapped the Timberwolves in them because I think they are that good and that legit.
Okay. Well, the only thing I would say is if you have the same injury concerns about the Clippers, then why don't you have the same injury concerns about the Pelicans, who have what I would say is 82.0 with Zion Williamson, who can't play more than I would say 40 games a year.
That's fair, but that's also one guy. You
right,
guys, you
what
have
the Pelicans
2.
without
Covington
him?
and Powell have injury concern. Like your whole team has injury concern. John Wall didn't play for 2 years.
I don't care about John Wall.
Pelicans are one guy.
I don't care about John Wall. He's the backup.
Well, you brought him up, so you do.
Okay,
care.
but do you understand? Do you understand what we're going here? You're talking Norman Powell and Robert Covington. Their depth. Zion Williamson is the heart and soul of the Pelicans.
So
He's
is Kawhi and Paul George. But I'm saying
correct.
But I'm saying you all have 2 stars who are injury prone.
Is Paul George that injury prone?
I would say so.
I mean, like the only 2 injuries I can think of is the awful one at USA and then this one last year.
I mean, didn't he have like a shoulder in OKC? I just feel like he's always banged up. It may not be long-term injuries, but he misses games.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, he does miss games, but I don't think it's like to the extent of Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis.
But let's say Zion plays 60 games. Okay, we go with that team last year of Ingram and McCollum, and they knew what the hell they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They had an unbelievable stretch to end the season.
But like, are they like? They're not like that good. They're not top 4 good. I don't know. Though.
I mean, the record without Zion was very good, and they're only going to be better from last year because I think a big part of their team was the youth, and they just get another year of experience.
Okay.
So
Well,
I think it's kind of risk free, even if like Zion gets hurt, because I think we know what they are if Zion gets hurt, right? And the
Mhm.
trajectory is just up. Whereas with the Clippers, if Kawhi, if Kawhi gets hurt, PG can kind of hold it down, right? I do know that. We also haven't seen Kawhi play in a while, right? He's still going to be elite. I'm not
top
saying he's
five,
not.
top five,
So you make a ranking right now, you're putting him top
top five,
five when he
top
hasn't
five.
played
Did
in
you
over a
see him?
year.
Did you see how big he looks?
I don't care
Top
how
five,
big he looks.
top
Zion looks
three, top
massive and
three,
he needs to lose
top
weight.
three, top three.
Like, you can't just say someone's top three when they've missed over a year.
I don't care. I'm that confident. He's that good.
That's cool, man. But like, that's
Remember when
not how it
KD went
works.
down? Wait.
Yeah,
KD. He went
yeah.
down,
No
and
one
then
should
what
have been
happened?
putting him in top anything. They should have waited and seen.
Nah,
You probably have
nah.
Deshaun Watson as a top five QB right now.
No, I
You
don't. I don't
loser.
because of his lawsuits. But is he a top five quarterback? Yes. But anyways,
No, but you just can't say that when they haven't played for over a year. It's an asterisk. You gotta wait and see how they come back.
I mean, that's like saying, oh, I don't know. I mean,
Also,
again,
adding
we
weight
saw Kawhi
doesn't.
Leonard a year ago,
Okay,
and
but
he looked
I just
great.
also want to add, adding weight doesn't mean you're going to be better. Anthony Davis added 20 pounds of muscle and is worse because of
Anthony
it.
Davis, who's that? You mean street clothes?
Oh my gosh, dude. we
Street
can't be
clothes?
hypocritical here. We can't be hypocritical.
He plays 2 games a year.
Well, he actually played last year, unlike this guy you're talking about being top three.
Yeah, but Kawhi's got 2 rings.
Okay, well, what does that
So
have
it
to
shows
do
that Kawhi
with
Leonard has been through it
rankings?
twice. Rankings.
Yeah,
So I'm telling
he
you right
has
now,
been
80 is
through it.
nowhere
He
near my
has been
ranking.
through it twice. That's cool.
80?
Can he do it again? That's what we're talking about.
80's been through it once.
No, I said Kawhi. Kawhi's been through it twice. Yes, he has.
Well, when
You're
you
not wrong about
last saw Kawhi Leonard play the game of basketball, you were impressed, correct?
Yeah, he's.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was surprised. Like, it's Kawhi Leonard. He's very good at basketball. He played how I
And we've
thought he would
seen
play.
him come back from injury before. If you remember the whole Fortnite brigade in San
Yes,
Antonio,
he gets hurt all the time. He has to come back from injury all the time.
and he's great after it. So the history would show.
I know.
That Kawhi Leonard,
I'm not saying he's gonna be bad. I'm just saying it's been over a year without, with the injury. He is also aging at the same time. Not that he's not out of his prime. It's just he's getting to the age where you're starting to be like, how much better can he really get? That happens with everyone.
Okay. I don't know, man. A lot of Kawhi hate.
So
these
okay,
days.
Kawhi hate?
Not you. It's just everyone. Continue.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Kawhi, but like objectively, like I just need to wait and see how he plays, right?
Okay.
If I was to predict it, he's gonna be elite.
So why are the
And it's
Nuggets
not
so
gonna be an
high
issue.
then? If Jamal Murray is coming back from a serious injury too, why are they so high?
Because of Jamal Murray and Porter, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because they're both doing the same thing
They
Kawhi's
also
doing. And
have
Kawhi's low.
Nikola Jokic as well.
Okay, but
So again with this injury thing, because I'm saying, worry about injuries. Jamal Murray has also had one major injury, right? They didn't rush him back. Michael Porter Jr. is an injury mess. I get that. Jokic and Murray together have made the Nuggets the 2 seed or the 1 seed multiple times. Not 1 seed, but 2. Like in Jokic and Murray's time, they've always had super winning seasons. You can go back in history if you want. Like they're always the 2 or 3 seed. And the depth on this team is crazy.
The Nuggets depth is not that good.
What are you talking about?
The Nuggets depth is not that
isn't
good.
that good.
No, it's not that good.
Jokic, Murray, Porter, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown is going to be your starting lineup.
Bruce Brown. Okay. Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown? You can't say it like that.
He's all right.
You watched the same series I did.
I watched. He was the only good Nets player. Good job.
So why are you saying Bruce Brown like it's nothing if you think he's the only good Nets player?
Because he's not that good.
He is good.
Fine.
Would you say his off-ball movement's good?
He's a fine player.
He's an exceptional
Bench
backdoor
player.
cutter. Oh my god, dude. And he's being paired with Jokic and Gordon, two amazing big man
Aaron
passers.
Gordon
It's
is
gonna be such a good fit.
Aaron Gordon is not the Aaron Gordon he once was, but
Yeah, he's fitting more into a role.
true. Let me hear the bench.
Bones Highland.
Go ahead, continue.
Are you really gonna crap on Bones Highland after that last year?
I don't know who Bone Tyler is. Continue.
Bones Highland.
Got it.
You don't know who that is?
No, I do not. Continue.
Oh my god. Did you watch the Nuggets Warriors series?
Yes, I did.
He's the guy with like the dreads who's shooting the deep threes.
Oh, okay. Yep.
The skinny guy.
Yes.
Okay. He's going into his second year. He's gonna
Yeah,
make big improvements.
Yeah, continue.
All right. Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Okay. All right. I like it.
You got Jeff Green.
Okay. 80 years old, but continue.
You got a good point. You got a good point there.
I love Jeff Green. though. I got a
DeAndre
jersey
Jordan
with
can
it.
give you some minutes.
DeAndre Jordan.
Can give you some minutes.
DeAndre Jordan.
Can give you some minutes.
DeAndre Jordan.
Can give you some minutes. Yes.
He's like the biggest injury flop out there. Continue.
He's the biggest injury flop.
Yeah, he injured. He injures himself all the
Ish
time.
Smith.
Ish Smith.
Are we?
This is the Wizards. This is the Wizards, is what I'm hearing. Ish
It's
Smith.
not the Wizards.
Ish Smith is all right. Ish Smith is all right.
Ish
But
Smith's
is Ish
all right.
Smith, you know,
They got
I'd
two,
rather have John Wall and yeah.
and
Continue.
they got two rookies who have
Don't run
title
those by me.
experience.
I won't know them. So title experience.
Yeah, they've both won national titles.
Okay. All right.
And Christian Braun, who won last year.
Yes, I know Christian Braun. He was on Kansas.
Yep.
I know that.
He's on the
His,
Nuggets.
his name is
And-
spelled differently.
And you know the other guy, Colin Gillespie,
Oh,
which you
I hate
hate.
him. But continue.
Yeah, but
Hate.
it's not as good as the Clippers, but it's
Hate
definitely
him.
not.
Okay,
It's definitely
well now
not
I hate
bad.
the Nuggets. You just had to tell me that he's on that team. I hate the Nuggets now. Hate
Okay, cool, but it's not better than the Clippers. I'm not saying that, but it's not bad. And that starting lineup's going to be nice.
I'm moving the Nuggets down to like 7 now that you said that.
That's
Sorry.
just heavy bias there.
I'm kidding around, but hate that guy. Continue.
Well, that's
That's
like
everything.
the
And then they
extent,
got a
yeah.
coach. Yeah, I mean, look, their depth is I'd rate their depth 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
The Clippers' depth is 10 out of 10.
Okay. I also
Right.
have seen the Nuggets have a lot of winning seasons.
Mm-hmm.
With this core, I've
I
seen
mean-
them be the 2, be the 3.
I will say this: the Suns are going to be a train wreck. The Suns are going to be a train wreck. I'm
They
telling
are.
you right now,
That
they're going to be a train wreck.
that's the one team maybe that I would swap is Clippers and Suns. I already made my rankings, so I can't.
The
First
Mavericks are
game
better than the
happened.
Suns.
I
You're a Luka
don't
guy.
understand. Yeah, I know. And I don't understand this whole Mavericks are going to be so good thing.
Well, I don't think they're. I just think that to put them 8 after making the Western Conference Finals a little bit.
So they were 4 last year, right?
Mhm.
They lost Jalen Brunson,
Correct.
who I don't think gets enough credit for what he did there.
Right, but it's kind of with the AJ Brown thing with Tennessee. Would you have paid him?
No, but the Titans also got worse because of it.
True. But I'm saying, would you have paid Jalen
So
Brunson?
no.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, I wouldn't have. I'm not saying the Mavericks did bad moves. They did fine moves. It's just so they were the 4 seed, lost Jalen Brunson, replaced him with Christian Wood.
Like that move.
Christian Wood, I'm sorry, he's overrated.
Oh, he's cheap. He's $10 million a year.
No, there's no issue with the contract and everything, but people are acting like they got the guy to pair with Luka.
No.
And it's just, with all due respect to Christian Wood, can you name me the 2 teams he's played for, Mike?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
The Rockets.
Yup.
The
An
Rockets.
An even better team.
Oh, and the Pistons.
Yeah.
Boom. You know why? Because I wanted him on the Celtics
Yes.
before they got Al Horford. So
which is
there you go.
was smart. But but
$30
point
million
is,
a year.
point is, he's put up these numbers on teams where his usage is super, super high. And I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything, but he's going to be coming off the bench. And it's just, I don't understand how people can look and say, we swapped Jalen Brunson with Christian Wood and all the other players on the team aren't necessarily going to get that much better. If anything, they're going to get worse. You know, THJ is coming back, sure. What are we going to get out of him? I don't know. Luka's obviously going to get better. I just feel like it's back to the old Mavericks where Luka has to do so much every single night. And can I count on that to be 50 plus wins to put him at a 3 seed? No, I can't.
So the Brunson loss is the big thing for you.
Yeah, Brunson took a lot of pressure off of Luka.
Got it. Yeah, that is a loss, but yeah, they probably should have replaced him with something. I don't think it's going to be 8th though. You know, I don't know about that.
This West is loaded. Like, it's not an insult. Are they better than the Nuggets?
No,
Are they better than the Warriors?
no,
You don't think they're better than the Clippers. I know that.
no,
Are they better than the Grizzlies?
no.
Okay, so they're already at 5 in your seedings.
They're 5. That's where they are. 5.
You have them at 5.
Yes, they're better than the Suns. The Suns are a mess.
The Suns are a mess, but they've been the 1 seed back-to-back years. You can't put them down too far when they haven't lost anyone.
Yeah, but they lost by like 50 to the Mavs.
Yeah, I understand, but this is regular season, not postseason.
Well, they got worse. They well, first of all, Jay Crowder refuses to play for the owner. Number 1.
Okay,
Number
cool.
2, Ayton hates his coach. What else?
He's played
I
fine.
think who else did they lose? They lost someone else.
No one really significant.
They didn't make any moves.
I
don't know.
They
Phoenix.
They kept their guys. That's what they did.
Devin Booker is the most overrated player in the NBA.
I don't disagree, but I'm saying like they were the 1 seed back-to-back years. Are you going to put them at 8 when they've kept the same roster pretty much?
I would put them in front of Minnesota
because I put them 6 and was like that's steep, but
I think
like
6
the other
is fine. The
teams
problem is the Clippers and Mavs are below them. That's the problem.
I don't get this Mavericks thing. I don't.
Well, you're gonna see. Okay, Luka is not gonna let his team be number 8. It's not gonna happen, John. It's not gonna happen.
Should we talk about that game last night? Because that didn't look encouraging if you're thinking the Mavericks are going to be that high.
They got blown out.
No, they didn't get blown out. It was a buzzer beater.
Oh, yeah, against the Suns, right?
Yes.
No? Yeah, yes. I saw the highlights. Yes. Damian Lee, right?
Yes. It was. Yes. They had a big lead and they blew it.
They're working out the chemistry.
No, it's not a chemistry thing. It's just at a certain point, you're like, oh, Luka's going to do everything. Let's just double team him. And he's passing passing to Maxi Kleber. Like at a certain point, that's the Mavericks. And you're not exactly relying on Luka. You're relying on Hardaway Jr., Finney Smith, Kleber, these guys to hit big shots for you come late.
Well, Dallas should have went after Malcolm Brogdon. That's their first mistake. They should have went after him.
I don't necessarily think what they did was bad. Like, it's just a timeline thing. They also thought Brunson was coming back. They thought
they offered him a fair price.
Yeah, I think it was like 20-some million.
I think New York offered him, 30 or something?
Something like that. They thought Brunson was coming back, and when he didn't come back, they were probably like, oh, crap, and all these guys are getting signed, and we had no plan. Because the plan for them was probably sign Brunson, and that's all the money.
Mm-hmm.
And once that didn't happen, they had to try to figure something out.
Yeah.
So I don't think they necessarily did a bad job. It's also, I think they're in a bit of a tough spot. I think they need some of these guys on their roster to leave so they can do things that help Luka more.
Like Dwight Powell. The worst Maverick player of all time.
I was on the Aiden train. I thought he would have been a perfect fit with Luka.
Who? Oh, DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah. I thought that would have been a perfect fit with him.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't have happened anyways, though.
Yeah, because the Suns kept him, which baffled me. Like, how are you going to badmouth? I wouldn't say badmouth. They just put all the blame on him. Like, everything was his fault.
Yeah, when it clearly should have been CP0 Ring's fault.
I mean, I think it was just all their faults for that collapse. But, you know, he got blamed for a lot of stuff. And was essentially, they said stuff like, we don't think he's a top center. Like,
they were mad because he wanted to get paid, and he knew they weren't going to pay him. So he went out and tried to get a contract from Indiana, and it forced their hand. And the Phoenix Suns were like, "Well, we're screwed. We have to do this contract, or we're going to be really
They
bad."
got their bluff because they
Correct.
said stuff like, "We can get so many centers who can do what Aiden can do."
Then let him go.
And it's like, let him go, find one.
And
Oh
they
wait,
didn't, and now they
you
have a Brooklyn
lied.
situation on their hand.
Yeah, it was really poor by them because now you have him, and he can't be happy
No.
because now he's stuck there long term.
Well, yeah, he's gonna look. That meltdown of that franchise is gonna be fun for me to watch. I'll tell you that. Sorry, I can't stand the Suns.
Is it because of the owner?
No, it's because they had this cocky attitude when they were playing the Bucks in the finals, like, oh, it was their finals to win, and then we all know what happened there. I
Yeah.
also can't stand Chris Paul, so, and I can't stand Devin Booker.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Simple.
Well, I feel like we pretty much covered it, right? Like,
Yes, sir.
you got Clippers at 1. I got 'em-
Top three, John. Stop the madness.
You
Top
said
three.
1. You said 1.
Yes, but you know
I have
me,
a text
top
message
three.
of you saying 1.
Top three.
Okay, you would put money their top 3.
Thank you.
That's what it is. Which do you want to work that out right now? Some sort of
Yes.
bet, or
Yes, sir.
how much
Let's
do you
do
want
it.
to put on it?
How much? I don't know. I've been pretty good at betting lately. I don't want to jinx it.
So I will say they won't be a top 3 seed, and you will say they will. Right?
Got it. I'll put 15.
50?
I didn't say 50.
Oh,
I said
sorry.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put in my notes real quick so we can have it in writing.
20.
20. All right.
Handshake. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
$20. Mike thinks Clippers will be a top 3 seed.
And John's in Connecticut right now where betting is legal, right, John?
I'm not yet.
That's why I said you're in Connecticut, because it's not legal. We're in Massachusetts.
Well, this is a friendly one, right?
Oh,
So,
true. This
I
isn't
mean-
DraftKings.
I don't know. Can we get in trouble for doing a friendly bet? Is that how
No.
it works?
Really good. I was kidding around.
But all right, this is good. I think we've come to some sort of agreement where we'll just put
Mhm.
money on it and see who wins.
Yeah.
And then whoever
Uh-huh.
wins is right. And
Yeah.
yeah, Cream City. Giannis.
I like the Bucks, so that's
Yeah.
All right, well,
Um,
thanks. I can't wait to take your money.
trash talk is starting. Okay. This was good. I hope you can at least understand my thought process with some of this.
I listen to the podcast a little bit too, so I understand that as well. So.
And you also know this ain't crapping on them come playoffs. Playoffs, I'm probably picking them against anyone. But
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for listening. Mike, thanks for joining as always. And we'll see you next time.